We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello and welcome to the online learning portal of Gujarat Technological University. I am Professor Ravikant T. Vanjara from Department of Computer Engineering from Apollo Institute of Engineering and Technology. I am here today to talk to you about asynchronous transfer in input-output organization. This topic particularly falls under the subject Computer Organization and Architecture Semester 4 as per GTU syllabus. But before going through asynchronous transfer, first we will have basic idea that what is synchronous transfer. So basically synchronous means 1. So in synchronous transfer, each data item is transferred during a particular time slice that is known in advance to both source and the destination unit. So here synchronization is achieved by driving both the unit from a common clock source. So it means both sender and receiver uses a single clock cycle in order to exchange the information. But we know that data transfer in computer, that is between CPU and input output, is asynchronous. The meaning of asynchronous is that both the unit are, that is CPU and input output unit, are independent of each other. Let us take an example. Suppose if we want to print some document, we directly give print command to the CPU. Here we are not informing printer to print the document in advance. So CPU uses its clock cycle, that is to receive the command, and then printer uses its own clock cycle to print the file. So it means neither the CPU nor input output device inform each other in advance about the data transfer. Same thing happens with the keyboard. If keyboard want to send some data to CPU, it doesn't inform to CPU in advance. It directly send data to CPU. Thus, this kind of data transfer is called as asynchronous transfer. So here in asynchronous transfer, both the unit, that is sender and receiver, are independent of each other. Each unit uses its own private clock cycle in order to exchange the information. Okay, so the both units are said to be asynchronous to each other. So there are 2 mechanisms under asynchronous transfer. The first one is stop pulse and the second one is handshaking. Okay, let us discuss the stop pulse mechanism. In stop pulse mechanism or stop control method, the data transfer uses a single control signal for each transfer. It means in stop control method, there is only one control signal that is used between source and destination. See, the signal can be activated either by the source unit or by the destination unit. So under stop control mechanism, we have 2 methods, that is source initiated and destination initiated. So let us discuss about source initiated stop method. See, the meaning of initiate means start. If it is source initiated, it means source unit start the operation. Destination initiated means destination unit start the operation. Okay, so let us discuss first the source initiated stop. So let us look at the block diagram of source initiated stop. So in source initiated stop, the source unit first places data on the data bus, and we know why we are using bus. So bus is used to transfer the information from one location to another location. So the first thing to be noticed over here is that source unit first places the data on the data bus, and then after it activate the stop control signal. Okay, now this control signal informs the destination unit that data from the source unit has been placed on the data bus. Okay, so this signal remains active for some period of time. Okay, so see the timing diagram. First the data is being placed on the data bus, and then after the stop control signal is being activated by the source unit, and then after data becomes valid on the data bus. Now the stop control signal is disabled and the data from the data bus is also removed after deactivating the data bus. Okay, so this data remains for a period of time on the data bus. So after some time destination unit will also disable its signal. But the disadvantage over here is that the source unit is not aware whether the destination unit has actually received the data or not. So we are not using another signal over here to inform the source unit that data is being accepted by the destination unit. So source unit simply assume that destination unit have received the data. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of stop control mechanism for source initiated stop, because in stop control we are using only one control signal. Okay, now let us discuss the another method that is destination initiated stop. So this is the theory that we have talked about. Okay, so let us look at the block diagram of destination initiated stop. So in destination initiated stop, first destination unit send the stop control signal to the source unit that it needs data. Okay, so what does the source unit does over here? The source unit places the data on the data bus. Okay, now this stop signal remains for a particular period of time, and then after destination unit deactivates the signal. After that source unit will also deactivate the data bus and it will remove the data from the data bus. But the disadvantage over here is that whenever the destination unit initiates the stop control signal, the source unit places the data on the data bus, but destination unit is not aware about the source unit that the data is being placed by the source unit. Okay, so destination unit here is unaware about the data being placed by the source unit on the data bus. Okay, so in order to solve the problem of stop control mechanism, we use a second method, that is a handshaking mechanism of asynchronous mode. So the problem is stated over here that in source initiated stop control, the source unit that initiates the transfer has no way of knowing whether the destination unit has actually received the data or not. And the second, that is destination initiated, the destination unit that initiates the transfer has no way of knowing whether the source has actually placed the data on the data bus. So here in handshaking mechanism, we will introduce a second control signal that is used to acknowledge to the unit. Okay, so the unit can be source or destination unit, whichever unit initiate the transfer. Okay, so let us see the source initiated transfer using handshaking mechanism. Okay, so let us look at the block diagram. The source unit over here, when you talk about source initiated transfer, so the source unit first places the data on the data bus, and then after it activates the signal called as data valid signal. Okay, now this data valid signal indicates the destination unit about the data that data is being placed on the data bus. The destination unit accept the data and give an acknowledgement to the source unit by sending the data accepted signal over here. Now the source unit will come to know that data is being accepted by the destination unit. So here two extra signal we are using, that is data valid signal, in order to inform the unit that data is being placed on the data bus. And the second, that is data accepted signal, that is used to give acknowledgement to the particular unit, that is source unit over here, that data is being received by the destination unit. Okay, and after some time the source unit will disable the data bus, and then destination unit will also disable its data accepted signal. So here the advantage of the stop control mechanism is solved over here. Okay, so the second control signal is used over here, that source unit is aware about the data being received by the destination unit. Okay, so this is the sequence of event that in source initiated, the source unit first places the data on the data bus, and then after it will enable the data valid signal in order to inform to the destination unit that data is placed on the data bus. Now the destination unit will accept the data from the data bus, and it will enable the data accepted signal in order to indicate that the source unit that data is being received by me, that is destination unit. Now source unit will disable the data valid signal and it will invalidate the data on the bus. Similarly, the destination unit will disable the data accepted line and ready to accept data in order to receive or in order to continue the next operation. Okay, so this is what source initiated transfer using handshaking mechanism says. The second method, this is the sequence of event that we have seen. The second method, that is destination initiated transfer. Okay, so in this destination initiated, first the signal is sent by the destination unit to source unit that it needs it needs data for transfer. Okay, so the transfer here is initiated by destination unit. So the destination unit sends a ready for data signal to the source unit. Now source unit places data on the data bus and enable data valid signal. This data valid signal will inform the destination unit that source unit has placed the data on the data bus. In the same manner, the source unit will remove data when the signal that is ready for data signal is disabled. Okay, so advantage here is that destination unit is aware about the data being placed on the data bus by the source unit. Okay, so this is how we can use the destination initiated transfer using handshaking mechanism in order to solve the stop control mechanism. So I hope you got something about synchronous transfer in input-output organization. So this is the sequence of event. First, destination unit sends a signal called as ready to accept data, and then after it will enable ready for data signal. Source unit places data on data bus and it will enable data valid signal, and then after data will be received by the destination unit, and then destination unit will disable its ready for data signal, and in the same manner source unit will disable the data, okay, on the data bus, and it will invalidate the data bus. This is the sequence of the event that we have discussed. Reference used over here is Computer System Architecture by author M. Maurice Mano, which is also the textbooks as reference to the GTU syllabus. So thank you.